Yeah, carrying on with this new segment that we started a couple webinars ago, BD Quick Tips. We'll still do the regular tips of the week every once in a while, but I thought this was a good new segment to kind of break things up a little bit, keep things a little fresh, a little different. So we're going to be showcasing some smaller, lesser known, more overlooked features within the BD platform, just to kind of bring some attention to them, bring some love to them. Oftentimes, there's a lot of great features in the platform that do go overlooked. So we got three new ones here this week. Admin role permissions, hugely important one. Hero section for web pages, and adding custom content to search result pages. We've covered all of these in the past, most of them in quite a bit of detail, actually. But we just wanted to give a brief overview of these individual features, again, shed some light on them. And going right on into the first one here, admin role permissions. This one is hugely important if you're not the only person working on your BD site. So if you have business partners, content managers, if you're working with a developer, with this, they'll be able to log into your BD website using their own login credentials, their own account. And then you, as the BD website owner, you can assign different admin roles to those different administrators on your website. So it's really simple. It's all within settings. You go to settings, admin accounts, and then admin role settings. And in there's some default ones specifically for developers and a few other default roles. Or you can create your own custom admin role where you can check off specifically which pages within the admin area you want to allow those types of admins to be able to access. So for example, if you're hiring a developer to do some custom development work on your site, maybe they don't necessarily need access to the finance section of the admin area or to the payment settings page in the admin area. So you can provide them with access to every other part of the admin except for the finance pages. So this is hugely important when it comes to account security. You never want to share your login credentials with anybody. So whether it's a developer, somebody else on your team, like a content manager, another business partner that you might have, and you want to give them full access to the admin area, you can do that as well. So this is a great tool to not actually just set up these admin roles, but you can also invite new admins to your website in the same area. So if you do have a business partner or you're working with a developer, if you want to just grant them access to the admin area of your website, you can just click the invite new admin button, put in their email address, they'll get notified, and then they can log into their account and you can assign them a specific admin role and everything like that. So this is a great one, primarily if you're working with other people who have access to your site as well.
And this is where you can find those settings. If you're in your dashboard, you can go to settings, admin accounts. And of course, the first thing you'll want to do is invite them via email to be part of your site. And when you invite them, now let's just click this real quick. You can choose their role. So they could be an owner, developer, full access. There's a few here. There's some test ones here that only I'm seeing, but or a content manager. And that's going to pre-restrict certain pages of the admin area. Or if you can customize this further, you can actually create your own role. Let's actually do this together. Let's create a new admin role. And we'll call this one only create web pages. And so I'm going to invite someone to my site. I only want them to be able to create web pages on my site. So basically, I want to give them access to edit web pages. And also, they do a little custom work. So I'm going to allow them to create widgets in the widget manager and customize default widgets. So that's all they'll be able to do. They'll have no access to any other places in my admin area. And then again, if you have content managers or moderators who are just like moderating reviews and leads that come in, this is a great way to enforce security on your site. You can securely give access to other users without worrying of them accessing areas that are sensitive or they don't necessarily need to be accessing. It's not just a trust issue. Sometimes people accidentally click and do things, so you want to minimize the surface area where user errors can occur, and you just kind of want to take that out of the equation. And by limiting some of the areas people can visit in your admin area, your staff, colleagues, developers you might hire, etc. This is a great way to ensure that we minimize user errors as people are navigating the admin area.
Awesome stuff. One of my favorite features within the whole platform there. The next one here, hero section for web pages. So we're all most likely familiar with the hero sections that we can have on our website's homepage. You can actually also add different hero sections to your internal or static web pages as well. It's super simple. It's all within the web page builder. There's a hero section tab when you're creating or editing a web page. And within there, it all looks very familiar. It looks just like the hero section settings area within the design settings. That's again for the home page, but you can add another one specifically to individual web pages. So you can see just in the screenshot on the bottom right here, that's kind of what it would look like. You can add any information or images, or just if you want to just do a background color, you could do that. You can add calls to action in there as well. So by adding these hero sections to the individual web pages on your site, you can really do, in some cases, a better job of clearly communicating what that specific web page is for. You might really want to take advantage of this, especially on landing pages. And within this hero section, you can drive more user actions if you want to include a CTA. So maybe you have a button in there. Maybe you have an email input form. Again, if it's a landing page, maybe for an ebook or something like that. And otherwise, it can just help to enhance overall the visual appeal of one of the pages. We've talked about this in past webinars, but really the best way to think about it is just like you have a hero section on the homepage, you can include similar hero sections on your static or kind of inside web pages as well.
Let's do a quick one of these. Let's go to the admin area. We can go to the web page builder in this example. And actually, let's just create a new web page. And we'll just call it hero sample as the URL. Oops. Okay, let's give it a title here. We'll just say, join our site. You rock. And this subheading, this is your chance. This is your time to shine. Of course, we can add whatever descriptive text we want. So let me just save this without enabling the hero section first. We'll save the changes. And then we'll take a look at just what, these are just two titles here. There's not much on this page now. Great. So we could see here, it's just centered titles here. So now let's enable it as a hero section. And of course, we can have our main content in the text editor here, but we'll enable the hero section. And let's add a background image. I think we have the stock photo library here. We have some other images here. I liked that example in your slide. Let's search for abstract art. Let's see if we can find something. There we go, abstract art. I like this one here. We'll get the large size. You want to use the large size for background images, generally with the stock photos. If it's for an image in like a piece of content, go with the smaller medium. You don't need the large size, but for background images, hero images, we do want the large one, so we have that larger pixel size. All right, let's choose this one here. I think it downloaded. Yep, great. What we can also do is the text will want it to be white against this background. I'll just drag that to white, and we'll increase the size. With a little back and forth, you can nail this pretty quickly. Let's just save that. And also let's align everything left. And it looks like it is. And we'll save those changes. So basically just added a picture and changed the colors from black to white. And let's do that. There we go. That's already looking good there. Join our site. You rock. This is your time to shine. And what David was mentioning before was the key to this, in my opinion, is you can have a call to action. So you can have a link URL. Maybe you want to take them to one of your checkout pages. And the text, you could say, join for free now. You can choose the color. Let's do red in this case. And we'll do an extra large button size. All right, let's save that. Oops, save those changes. And there we go. So again, you could do this on other pages throughout your site. It could be your about or mission page, and then you tell people to join. It can be on a search results page, which we'll cover in a second. in the next tip. And if people are searching, then you can give them a call to action, like, "Are you a doctor? Join our site and join the directory." So we can see here again, just very quickly, the hero section, how that's helpful. One more tip here. You can adjust the padding size. I'm going to set it to 0 just so you guys can see the extreme of what this top and bottom padding does. It's the space up here between the menu and the text and the bottom of the image. Let's refresh this. It's going to be a lot skinnier now because I set it to 0. But just depending on how your text size and the layout, you may want to increase these accordingly, and just know that you have that flexibility to do this. We refresh this. And one final tip, this white text against this abstract painting that I selected, I actually want more contrast. The white is not sitting nicely in my eyes. Here's a tip. You can actually choose an overlay color like red. I'll just do black in this case. But you want to do overlay visibility. Right now it's 0, so we're not seeing it. But let me show you what it does. First, I'm going to set it to 10. So it'll be 100% cover the image. We'll see all black here. But now I'll do it to 5, and we'll see that it's going to be kind of see-through. So set that to 5. And this is really nice because it adds a little bit more dimension here. And we can see now the white text is popping a little bit more. The color black is on top of this image. And it just helps you add a bit more contrast. So if you've added an image that you like the graphic of the image, but the contrast, it's not contrasting right with your text, you can then add the overlay background color, which is super helpful. And just to show you the differences, let's choose like a purple color here. I don't necessarily like that, but we'll just, as an example here, we'll refresh this and we can see here, actually looks kind of cool. Just depends on the vibe that you're going for. But that flexibility is there for you. All right.
Such an easy way to add some extra value to some pages, and a great segue actually into the third and final quick tip here, adding custom content to search result pages. So this is with regards to your member search result pages. It could also be your post search result pages. So your articles page, events page, things like that. With this, you can add custom content to these dynamic search result pages. Basically, the way we do this is we actually use the admin bar on the front end of the website. That's the easiest way, at least, to do this. We click the visit website button from inside the admin area. That takes us to the front end of the website. And then we go to the search results page that we want to add custom content to. And then in the admin bar that's displayed on the left-hand side of your monitor, you just click the create static page button in there. And that kind of turns the dynamic page into a static page. You'll still dynamically get the search results. So when a new post or a new member is added to your website or removed from your website, that'll still be reflected in the search results. But by creating a static page, quote unquote, that's what allows us to add some custom content to these dynamic pages. So we actually did a whole tip of the week on this. It was more focused on the strategy side when it comes to improving SEO actually on the search result pages. So we'll share a link in the chat directing you to that tip of the week if you want to check that out after this webinar. But really, this is a great way there's several different benefits to this. You can optimize just the default page titles if that's kind of the only thing you're after. A little more simple there. But you can add some more context, some more information to specific search result pages. This is a great way to add additional value, whether it's strictly just for the visitor of the web page or SEO value. You can add additional value to either your high performing or your underperforming pages. Maybe you have some search result pages that are visited frequently. You want to kind of optimize them even more, add some more specific content to those. You could do that. Or if you think you have some really high value search result pages that are kind of underperforming, maybe you want to add some specific content to those pages to kind of optimize those a bit more. But either way, this can help to increase engagement with these search result pages in a variety of areas. But through this also, you can, of course, add some additional calls to action to these search result pages as well. We kind of touch on all of these subjects in the tip of the week that we did on the specific topic. So go ahead and share that in the chat right now. That would be a great one to check out if you haven't seen that already.
Yeah, that'd be a great one to share, David. I'll do a demo of this example here. I love topics on SEO. SEO is like an onion. There are layers upon layers. You can go down that rabbit hole. I think this is a tip that everyone can take an actionable step with, and actually we'll share with you the prompt to create fairly good content. You can obviously further give it a human touch, but creating content for your search results pages. So, BD sites actually do a good job ranking in Google. We often see people posting in the Facebook group, hey, I have 10,000 pages and Google's only indexing, 1,000 of them. That's because not all the pages have value. A lot of them are just the contact member page, but they're going to rank the member's profile page. So, when one member joins your site, actually like 6 or 7 web pages are created on your site dynamically. Their search results page, again, their contact and review me page, and a few more. So it's not about getting every page indexed on your site. It's about getting the important pages indexed on your site. And this is one thing that you guys can all do, especially if you spend an hour a week doing this. It's a great routine for adding content to your website beyond the content that's dynamically created by the Brilliant Directory system. So in this example, let's actually look at one of the categories we have on our demo site here. All right, let's here we got chiropractors. We got chiropractors here. So let's look at the chiropractor results. Okay, so there's 9 chiropractors on this site, and of course we see the normal stuff. We see the title for the category, and then we see the search results of it. I think this was from the business import tool. We did some tests here. So, let's say this page is ranking a little bit on Google, but we want it to perform a little bit better, or we have no idea how it's performing. We just want to enhance it. So, follow these steps. And David, I think I have the AI prompt here that we're going to use. Perfect. Okay, so let's actually go back to this site. And I like to do it with a location search as well. I think in a previous webinar, we hid the location field here. Let me clear some of this stuff here, and then we can do a proper demonstration for you guys, because it's going to be super helpful, I think. Let me just disable all these custom widgets here.
And while you're doing that, I'll just answer Teresa's question. Just to reiterate, yeah, you can do this. It's not just on the member search result pages. This would be on any search result page. So it could be for any of your post search result pages as well. So your blog roll for all the articles on your site, the events page, classifieds, any search results page you can do this on.
Absolutely. All right. So let me just refresh this now. Okay, great. That was just I should have done that before the webinar. Let me find out what location some of these people are in here. Okay, I think also we're hiding the location here from a previous webinar. Let me check this out. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me do one more thing here, and then we'll be ready to go with this demo. Let me go to search members real quick.
And also, Dre, yes, I'll go ahead and paste in the Google Doc link right now so that you can have the AI prompt to get this.
Okay, because I want to do this with a location search. You could just do the category, but I like marrying the location with the category when you're going to do the SEO content. So let me just see here. Yeah, street address was hidden there. Okay. Now let's refresh this here, and we should see, there we go, New York. So let's say we want to find a chiropractor in New York. So we'll do chiropractor as the category. And I have that set. All right, let's go here for a second. Let me get to where I want to go. Here we go. So these are chiropractors in New York. So let me find the shorter URL here. All right, let's refresh. Let's shake it off. I should have prepared some of this before the webinar. So we have New York chiropractors. There's 9 of them here. And let's say we wanted to add some custom SEO content to this. Okay, easiest thing to do is copy the URL up here, New York chiropractor. And as David was mentioning, when you're in the admin view with this sidebar here, you could say create static page. I'll open this in a new window. It's going to ask you what you want to create the static page for. So we want it to be for this one, New York chiropractor. And this is the key that we need to do. The page type, it's going to be member search results. We want to make sure you set the page type to now. It knows that this URL is for this search results page. You can also do this for posts like blog posts, events, coupons, and so on. And it's going to add additional content to there. So we have this prompt that we created, and all you need to do is fill in the red text with what you need into like a chat GPT or something. Of course, you can modify the prompt further if you need to, but let's go to chat GPT together. And it tells it the type of article we want. So we're going to say New York is the location and chiropractors. So I'm just going to say chiropractors. And what it's going to do is create an article for us. I'll just hit send it. And it's going to create an article with some headings, some bullet points, a little bit of FAQ, everything that to give Google something to chew on. So the page is not just the results, but also the results with some SEO content to accompany it. So what I like to do is just let it finish writing its article. I think it's almost there. So here's the contents it's writing. It's creating, Google loves FAQ sections. So it's here. So what are the top rated chiropractor New York? So it's just listing some stuff. So now it's finished. What I like to do in ChatGPT, if you're using other tools, it's fine, is just use the copy button here. And when we come back to the page we're creating, which is here, I put the New York chiropractor. I just paste that right in here. And we could do further edits if we want. Some of these subheadings, I like to actually change them to what are called H2s, heading 2s. We'll see that on the front end. I'll just do that. Heading 2s and heading 3s. It's just good for SEO here. You don't have to do it, or you could make it bold, just something to distinguish it separate from the paragraph it's about. I'm just going to hit the Save Changes button. Okay, great. And I'll open a new tab and we'll see what it's looking like. Okay, great. So now that we've turned it into a static page, we have a few options here. We can see the sidebar went away, and that's because we can define the sidebar. We can have a different sidebar just for this search results page. We have essentially made this its own piece of content page, basically with custom content on it. Now we could see the read more text here. As we scroll down, it's some good juicy content for Google to chew on. And now we have some design choices that we can make. Let's add that sidebar back. This would be under page options. And let's bring the sidebar back first, and then I'll show you some other things. So it was set to no sidebar. That was actually the member search results sidebar we were using before. And we'll keep it on the left side. And we'll go ahead and save the changes there. And we'll refresh this. Okay, perfect. This is actually the wide. There's two options. In case you didn't know, you can have left wide or left slim. It just makes it a little tighter in the sidebar there. There we go. I kind of like that for this one. And our contents here, it's in a new tab. It says read more. However, we can have this in different places. You don't necessarily need this much content. Maybe you just want 2 paragraphs, shorter paragraphs, and you just want it above the content. So let's see some other settings here. Custom HTML placement. Right now it's inside a tab. And just for demonstrative purposes, I'll move it above the search results. If it's a long piece of content, I don't necessarily recommend this. Because you're going to push the results way down the page. I'll show you an example of that now. And we can see here now the content is now above the search results here, and it's kind of cannibalized the area here. You have to scroll way down here. And of course, it would be because this is for SEO, just the content just needs to be on the page to give Google something to read. So below the member results is a good place for it. And I'll show you that. And we can see here that it's also on the side of the sidebar as well. The sidebar is still here and the content is here. Now it's going to be below. And we can see that it's still in line with the search results, the width of the search results. Here's a cool one. If you do, below body content, this actually gets it below the the sidebar and the results. So let's refresh this. We'll see that this now goes full width. See, it's now technically under the sidebar area and below the results. It's below basically the body of the results. And now we have this SEO content here. This is the ideal place for it. If you enhance this further, you can add calls to action here and a lot more. And actually, let's put these two together. Let's add a hero section now that we're customizing the content on this specific search results page. And again, I did it with combining a category and a location. If your site is already category focused, like for example, if it's only immigration attorneys, you don't need to, say a specific category again, a subcategory. You can just focus on immigration attorneys and the location, or just immigration attorneys. But let's do this. Let's actually add a hero section, and let's say search. Let's add a custom title here. Search for chiropractors in New York. We just call it chiropractors in New York. Then let's add a subheading. Are you a chiropractor in New York? Join for free. And we'll go to the hero section, enable this. Let's add an image here. Go to the stock photo library, and we can do, we'll just say, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to do chiropractor, but we'll just do it and see what comes up. Okay, so there are images here. This is a good one. Maybe we just don't want people's faces in it. So we'll just choose this one with large. All right, now that it's added to the site, we can go back to our media library and select it. I'm going to go a little bit quicker here because we already covered the hero section. I'm going to do the overlay here, and I'm going to change the text to be white instead of black. And we can increase the size here. Go 60 pixels, and let's add a call to action. We'll link them to our join page, and we'll say list your practice now. We'll spell practice correctly. We'll make it a green in this case, and we'll make it an extra large button. All right, let's save the changes. We added a hero section. We've added custom content. And again, you're doing this on a per category location combination basis. Let's refresh this now. Here we go. The breadcrumbs here should be below. Let me see why that's happening. Let's actually remove the breadcrumbs just in this case. Let's see here. Let's ignore, I'm going to make a note of that. They should be below down here. But nevertheless, now we have added a good title here, Chiropractors in New York. Are you a chiropractor in New York? Join for free. We can see that here. Let's say I wanted this to go to another line. We can just add what's called a BR. Save that and see what that looks like. And the button is here. So we not only have we enhanced this for SEO, we've now added a better call to action. It's not just the directory with the results pages. It looks a bit more customized on your site. Of course, if you have hundreds and hundreds of categories, I would pick and choose your most popular categories. And again, turn this into a routine. Generally, it's one-time work. Once you have content for all your categories, your job is done. So you don't necessarily want to, have to do this forever and ever. But it's a great way to just add that competitive edge, right? Because we have to think what our competitors are doing that we're trying to compete with, and they are out there and they're ranking on SEO for some of the keywords we want to rank for, like chiropractors in New York. So we need to give ourselves all the advantages we can to help our site rank the best it can. And the BD site does a lot, but there is still more to do that we can do as the website owner. So we have all this now, and then we have our blurb of content. So I'll leave it there for now, but I'm glad we did the hero and the adding custom SEO content. David, were you able to share this link to this Google Doc here? Yep, I could see a lot of people are already checking it out. And of course, yeah, you can change this prompt as you see fit. And maybe you just want to do location or just a category. You could probably do that as well.